Hey, hello guys. Good morning. Welcome again to your session of TV Liceo. I'm really happy to be with you here again in this kind of new modality or format that our school has for all of you. And I think that this gives us a lot of opportunities to present the content for you in a way that is kind of, or could be more fun or more attractive. Okay, by now guys, I think that you are watching something behind me. Where do you think that I am? Maybe if I can like float a little bit or... But the really important question is, here is, why this background? Do you remember that in classes we are watching like different things like the heart, like the lungs, the liver? I don't know what this background, the sun, the planet Earth, the different planets have to do with what we are watching in class, guys. Do you have like any idea about this? How can we relate this background, this image, with what we are watching in class? I'm starting to watch here some of your answers. Of course, I'm happy to see that you noticed that. That's what I wanted. It's a system, right? It has a different name, or it's a kind of a little bit different from what we have seen in class, but you know that it's a system. It's the solar system. We have seen these kind of systems in our bodies. Can you remember how many systems do we have in our body? I remember that they are like more than 10 systems, but can you tell me the names of some of them? How many do you think they are, and what are their names? I mean, while you are trying to maybe write that or give that answer, I'm going to make you some other answer that is going to be like a little bit more important, because that is what we are going to continue in this session, okay? I want you to tell me, I'm going to introduce that subject later, or I'm going to develop that subject later, but I want you to tell me how many senses do you think that our body have, or the humans have? How many senses, and what are the names of those senses? I don't know, maybe I'm going to give you like a little time to think about it, to really think about it. I don't know if you, how many of those senses do you know? How many of those senses do you use every day? Yes, I'm going to give you like that question there. But now, particularly, I want to talk to you about these kind of different systems. They might not seem like a system at first glance, but in fact they are like a subset of system, or of a more important system that it's going to be like the main system. These smaller systems that I'm going to talk to you about are like a subset of that main system, and I want you to tell me also, or that you find out, which is that main system or that principal system. The subsystems that I'm telling you about are, of course, the senses, and we are going to try to find out more of them. Okay, how many are they? Right now, I'm watching some of your answers, guys, about how many systems there are. I'm watching answers from Sebastian. Hello again, Sebastian. We were in class a while ago. He says that more than 5. Maybe you refer to the senses. The question about, or the answer from Abril. She's saying that the respiratory system, skeletal, muscular, nervous, endocrine, lymphatic system, digestive system, urinary, reproductive. Congratulations, Abril. You remember a lot of them. We have more than 10 systems, right? And, I'm watching some other answers here about the senses. Sebastian is telling us that one of those is taste, one other, or some other is the balance. That's a very good one. It's one of the ones that we are going to watch in more detail. Balance, touch, we have 3. Smell, hearing, we have 5 there, and more. Which other is, or the most common 5 is missing here from that answer that Sebastian gave us. We have taste, we have touch, smell, hearing. Which of the 5 most common is missing there? Can you tell me? Sebastian added a very important one, a different one, which is the balance, okay? Which is the balance. And now, if you please advance to your image. Let me see here. Smell, tact, or touch, taste, hear. Which one is missing? The sight, right? That is like the fifth that was missing. And okay, so the main thing that we are going to be watching here, guys, is like the senses. And by now, I think that you should be watching them displayed right here. Some of them are, or the 5 most known are the senses of taste, sight, hearing, smelling, and touch. And you can see in this, also in this image, in background image, that each of these senses has like a related zone in the brain to work. They have like their own region in which the brain or the nervous system perceives those senses, okay? But there are, guys, besides these 5 that are the most common senses, besides these, there are another senses. I think that it depends. There may be, some say that there are like 9 senses that humans have. Some others say that there are up to 21 senses, or maybe even more, many more. But it's going to be dependent on what are your bases to establish what is a sense. Yes, that can vary a lot. So I think that the most important thing right now is to go with this kind of same classification in which you have like an organ that is responsible to perceive that particular sense. Okay, in this case we have here like the taste, which is perceived by the tongue, the sight that is perceived by the eyes, the smell that is perceived by the nose, etc., etc. We have like a particular organ to perceive a particular sense. Okay, and now if you please advance to the next one, we are going to have different systems. But first, I want to make like a little exercise here to demonstrate one of the other systems. I'm not sure if the image that I want is displaying right here, but I want you to think about balance. Let's try to remember that that sense that Sebastian told us before. And you can see here, yes, the one image that is a person trying to get the balance in only one foot, okay? Right now, guys, I made you some questions before. You were great with your participation. And now I want to challenge a little bit, okay? I want to challenge you a little bit. The first part, or the first thing that we are going to do, that I want you to do, is that you need to make sure that your area is a safe area, because you may fall. I don't want that to happen, but you have to be very careful for that. And the first step for this challenge is going to be like you stand up, straight up, just like that. Not too difficult, right? We do this, we can do this all the time, even with our eyes closed. But now, the second part of this challenge is that you do the same as the image. You try to maintain your balance in only one foot, okay? I'm going to try to perform that. I hope that I don't fall or anything, or don't break something. But I'm going to try to perform that here. I want you to do it with me, okay? I think that 10 seconds could be like the goal, and I'm going to try to maintain the balance right there in only one foot for 10 seconds. I'm going to count starting right now. Do it yourself as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I did it. Could you do it? Was it easy for you? Did you have to use one of your most known senses to manage that? I don't think so, because that is controlled by another sense that we are going to be reviewing in more detail in a while. But now, there is like another level of this challenge, guys. Okay? So that's why I told you before that you can do it. Make sure that your area is kind of safe, that you don't trip with anything. We're going to try to do the same, but now you will have to close your eyes. Okay? let's see if you can manage to hold for those 10 seconds with only one foot, okay? I did it, says Sebastian. Some of you are saying that yes, that's easy, super easy, right? But now what about the last level, that you have to do that with your eyes closed, okay? So I'm going to try to do that. You try to do it at the same time. I'm going to close my eyes now, and I'm going to try to balance in only one foot. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I did it. I survived. Okay, did you do it as well, guys? Did you succeed? Is it still super easy? Okay, I want to tell you with this, guys, that previously in class we have seen how the different systems interact between each other. If you remember, we have seen a lot about the respiratory system and the circulatory system, and we have seen that they have a very, very close relationship, especially in that organ that is the lung, that is shared by both systems. In this case, guys, oh, you're saying that was also easy, that level? Oh, Maria Fernanda saying that was super difficult, okay? And this is why I'm telling you this, guys, that there is like also an interconnection or a relationship between all of the different systems. In this case, we have like our balance system or our balance sense in relationship with our sight and maybe some other different organs, but mostly our sight that gives us like the perspective or where we are. I'm sorry, but yes, that is when we close our eyes, we lose that relationship with the sight, and we are only left with our inner sense of balance. And it's at the beginning, it's kind of more difficult. It's a matter of practice. The more you practice that, the more you're going to be able to stand for a longer period of time without any trouble, okay? But yes, it's because we close our eyes that we lost that participation of this other sense that is helping us maintain our balance. So I'm watching that for some of you was kind of super easy, for some of you not that much. I hope that you haven't fallen around or broken anything, okay? Let's hope that you are all safe and sound. And now, guys, I'm going to, or I want you to see this structure, and this is the one responsible for that sense of equilibrium. I know it could seem like a little bit strange. Maybe some of you have already seen that organ or those structures before, and that organ responsible for our sense of balance is our inner ear, okay? If you're watching here now the image, we have like two different parts. If you see one of those is like it seems like a snail, the coiled thing. It seems like a little snail, and that part is the one responsible for our hearing, okay? That is the one responsible for the sense of hearing. But the other part, which has like these three different loops, I don't know if you can notice that in the diagram. That organ is responsible for the balance, okay? And I'm going to try to explain you a little bit how that works. In those kind of or channels or loops, if you notice, I don't know if it can be really appreciated in the image, but one of those loops is going to be oriented in this plane, in a vertical position, but in this direction. The other one is going to be oriented in this vertical position as well, but in the other direction. Like if we say this is oriented forward and backwards, it detects the movement forward and backwards. This other one detects the movement side to side, and the other one that is in this position detects the movement up and down, okay? So we have like with this organ, we're going to be able to detect the movement in any direction, okay? Because we have all those planes covered by this little organ. And okay, if you didn't know that organ, I'm going to present you already. So that is the thing that helps you keeping your balance, okay? It's part of your inner ear. And yes, that is one of our other not so known senses if we adopt this one to the 5 previous that we already know, that is taste, smell, sight, touch, and hearing, we have now added one more, that is the balance. Okay, so now you can count 6 senses. Okay. Yes, I'm watching some of your comments here, and you seem a little bit surprised that we have something like that inside our head or near to our ears. But yes, that's how your inner ear looks like, guys. And it's really helpful, and that's the thing that helps you do a lot of things, like playing sports, like dancing, and just walking normally, okay, maintaining your balance. That's a really, really important organs. So if we change, please, to the next slide. Okay, so right now I want you to know that we have one more sense, one more of these strange, not so common senses. They are in fact really common, but we are not aware of those. The knowledge that we have is kind of, we left them, or we make them to a side. I don't know the reason why, but these kind of senses are really, really important, guys, because we use them all of the time and we don't even realize that we are doing, that we are using them. Maybe that's why, I don't know, they are so important. The things that we never notice are the ones that work the best. I think that is kind of my idea. This other sense that I'm talking to you about, guys, is called proprioception. What is proprioception? Maybe you can have an idea about that name. Proprioception, it is the sense that is going to be, or with this sense, you are going to be able to detect each part of your body in space. You're going to be able to locate each part of your body in space. That's what that word means, proprioception. Your brain, your nervous system is going to be aware at all times where each part of your body is. Even we are going to make like a little exercise about this, but this sense is possible because inside our muscles, inside our skin, or different parts of our body, we have different sensors that are specialized in this to sense our position, or yes, the position in space that every muscle, every part of your body has. So when you move a muscle, you're going to stretch something, a muscle or the skin, and those receptors are going to detect that, and they're going to send that information to your brain, and immediately, automatically, without you even looking at that part, you're going to be able to know exactly where that part, whatever that be, your arm, your fingers, your toes, everything, you're going to be able to locate perfectly fine 100% of the times in the space, okay? So now, if we can change please to the next one, we are going to make a little experiment here to test this sense. We have made something to test the previous one, which was like the balancing thing, and now we are going to do something different to test this other sense, guys. And it's going to be a very, very simple thing, okay? I think that with this image that we are watching now are the proprioceptors, and if you can pass to the next one, please. Right now, I think that you're watching an example of some people that is standing, holding like a ball. And I want you to notice in this image, guys, that person is not actually looking at his body. If you notice, I don't know if you remember, if you play like a sport, what do coach normally tell to you? Eyes in the ball. You don't have to look at your body or anything. If you, for example, are playing baseball, you have to concentrate only in the ball, just so when it comes closer, you can hit it and send it out of the stadium. And all of those movements, you don't have to be aware where your hands are located. You just know because of this system of proprioception. Okay. Another example could be like when you are walking across like a place that maybe you don't know, or yes, it could be a very common place, your house. If you have like stairs to go to your room, if you have like stairs in your room, do you always go through the stairs looking down, so you know where your steps are or where your foot are? I don't think so, right? Because you are used to it. You know where your body is, and so you can manage to pass through a lot of different places without even looking. You don't walk like this. Look at this. It looks kind of weird, right? You don't do that. Nobody does that, because we know where our feet are. I can move around without worrying about tripping or something, because I know where my feet are. That is thanks to this sense, and we can see that in that image. If we can advance, please, to the next one. Now, here comes the part of the exercise, guys. And for this time, I'm going to ask you as well to stand up, if you are not, to stand up and participate with me doing the following. Don't do anything. I know that maybe you're watching already the activity, but listen first. What you have to do is that with your eyes closed, you are going to try, actually I'm going to tell you to do something different to the images. I'm going to ask you that you stand still right like this, stand straight, and you are going to close your eyes, but then you are going to take your right hand with your eyes closed. You are going to take your right hand to the tip of your left ear. Okay, try to do that with your eyes closed, and let me know if you manage to touch your left ear. Okay, I'm going to try to do it right now. I'm not watching my ear, I'm not smelling my ear, I'm not tasting my ear, of course. I need another sense to do that, okay? Let me see if proprioception works. I'm going to do it. It is right here. Okay, and we can see in the images as well that we can do it with our nose, with our eyes closed. We perfectly know the place that our nose is placed. Okay, the same thing with all of our body parts. Okay, that is like this little experiment is to confirm that we have that other sense. And now, if we add this sense to the previous ones, we have 6 before. You did it, Sebastian, really good. Let me check this comment from Paula. She says, I realize that if you close your eyes, you're aware of where your body parts are. Yes, that is thanks to this sense that I'm talking you about. Okay, so we're going to move on to the next slide. And as I was telling you before, now if we add up this sense, this new sense, to the previous that we now have 7 senses. Okay. Far more than those traditionally known 5 senses. Now we have counted up until 7 senses, okay? And we are going to still be counting more of them. I think that we are watching now an image of a piece of skin, a fraction of the outer layer of the skin. And in this diagram, we can notice a lot of different nervous terminals, and each of those nervous terminals are related with the perception of different mechanical stimuli. As you can see here, we have sensors to detect the heat or the cold, or to detect the pressure. Most of them are kind of to detect the pressure associated with the sense of touch, but some others are associated with feeling pain, for example, or feeling cold, or feeling heat. Okay, so all of those combination of different sensory cells or sensitive cells are located in your skin. And as I told you before, you can count as many senses as you want if you consider that each of these receptors is a sense, a separated sense, because they detect a different thing. Okay. They are like a specialized organ, so to say, to detect something, okay, some particular thing, either be pressure, either be heat, pain, or cold. Now, if we add all of these, we could have like 9 or more senses, okay? But particularly, we are going to focus on 3: the ones that detect the pain, the ones that detect the cold, and the ones that detect the heat. If you advance, please, to the next slide, we are going to be able to see that we have like a scale here of temperature in which you can notice that your thermoreceptors, that's what we call the receptors that detect heat or cold. Your thermoreceptors have a very, very short range of detection, right? Because they detect, I think like, oh, now we're watching the heart. We're watching the heart. This organ, I'm displaying this image here because we need to remember that we're watching that system, okay, the circulatory system. I think that we are missing that image. I don't know if that is before. Can you get to that image, please? The one that shows the scale of temperature. That one, that is the correct one, the one that I'm watching right now. Okay, so here you can see what I was telling you before, that the range of those receptors is very, very short. You can detect heat from 30 degrees to 40 degrees Celsius. You can distinguish, you can make a distinction with your skin, or when you touch something that is, I don't know, 30 degrees, you can distinguish the different heat from some other thing that is at a temperature of 40 degrees. But beyond that, or more than 40 degrees, you're going to be feeling pain only. You're not, yes, you're going to know that it is hot, but you're going to feel pain more than heat. And the other way around also works for the receptors of cold. Between 30 or 20 and 30 centigrade degrees, you're going to feel or be able to distinguish those temperatures. But below those temperatures, you're going to be activating your pain receptors. Okay, so these three receptors are also different from those commons that we already know. And I think that if we add this up, we end up like with 9 or 10 different senses. Okay, so if you know, or if you knew only 5 or the 5 most common senses, now you know up until 9 senses. Okay, now if we could advance please to the next one. I think it's the one of the heart, right? It's one of the heart. And okay guys, so the circulatory system, this organ, we have seen this organ a little bit in class before, and this organ I want to show you because I want to do another activity to demonstrate how this or how can we measure this activity of this system or this organ. It's going to be very easy, guys. Well, we are watching here I think another image about some perceptions that could be considered as other senses. When you are very, very thirsty, and when you are like hungry, where do you think that comes from? Do you smell? Can you smell when you're thirsty? Can you smell your hunger? Or can you smell, or can you see your thirst? Those are kind of other different senses, right? Okay, and now if we are watching here the image of the heart, I want you to focus in that one because I want to make a little, it's kind of an experiment, a little activity just so you can experience how your circulatory system is working. Now, I don't know if you have done this before. Do you know how to measure your pulse? If you don't, I'm going to show you. It's really, really easy, okay? Right in this part of your arm or your forearm, there is like an artery. It's kind of a little bit superficial, and you can detect that. And if you cannot manage to feel your pulse right here, you can try over here, your carotid artery, right beside this group right here, around your neck. Try to find it wherever you feel it the best. Just let me know in the comments if you have found your pulse, okay? Try to find it. And now for this activity, Paula Sofia has found her pulse. Great. Let me see if you are still alive. Confirm that you are not zombies hanging around, okay? Try to check for your pulse. And once you have found it, just let me know so we can continue, okay? And for this activity, we're going to need like the timer. and it's going to be displayed in the screen, guys, and we are going to have like 1 minute, and I want you to, once you have detected already your pulse, don't let it go, just feel it right there. You don't have to press too much, but if you are putting your hand or your fingers very slightly, maybe you are not going to feel it. Okay, just try to push just a little bit so you can sense it. I recommend that you find it here on your wrist, or whatever you feel it better. If you feel it better in your neck, that's okay. But now that you have it there, let's try to measure how many beats per minute, how many times the heart is going to beat per minute, okay? So be very aware of the timer. Let's try to count. And if you please start the chronometer. Okay, try to count your pulsation, guys. I'm going to try to count them out loud. 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 8, 9, 30, 31, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 41, 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 58, 9, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 70. In my case, in 1 minute, guys, I counted 70 pulsations or 7 beats. Okay, my rate or the rate of my heart is 70 beats per minute. In your case, can you let me know which was your beat rate? If you please can show me the next image. I have like a table in which there are different ages and different rates or normal rates of the heartbeat. So I want to see your rates right there in the comments, guys. In my case, I tell you again, I measured 70. I'm watching some of yours. Maria Fernanda is saying that she counted up to 73. Paula Sofia counted 76. Okay. Orlando 54. You must be like a super athlete. And David is saying, I think that is 66. Okay, guys, in the image that I'm showing you here, you can watch the normal rate according to the age. I don't know if you are between the small children or the normal children, and the normal for you should be between 85 to 90, or if you have like an excellent physical condition, you should be around 60 and 80, okay? So, with this activity, guys, we're going to do it one more time. If you can put the timer again. And now, guys, for this, be ready because we are going to do something. We're going to do some exercise, and we are going to try to check that rate again. And let's see if it remains the same, okay? So can we start the timer right now? Okay, try to run in your place and count your pulsations. 5, 6, 7, 16, 17, 23, 24, 25, 28, 19, 32, 33, 34, 5, 36, 7, 38, 31, 42, 3, 4, 5, 37, 8, 51, 52, 53, 4, 5, 6, 7, 58, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many did you count? It was really difficult. But I'm starting to feel a lot of faster my rate. I think I managed to count it until 80. I think it was 10 more than before, but I'm feeling that my rate is way faster than before. I don't know about you, but this is kind of an activity in which you can confirm even the relationship between the respiratory system and the circulatory system. The faster your heart is beating, the faster your breathing is going to be also, because you're going to need more oxygen to satisfy that demand of oxygen or energy that your body is asking. 182, a lot of that. It's kind of difficult, right? But yes, I think that we now need to relax and breathe in, breathe out. Okay, and I think that we're going to be finishing our time with these guys. I hope that you have enjoyed these different activities and knowing a little bit more about your senses and how they are related and the different systems that are involved as well. Okay, so guys, it was great being with you here in this session of TV Liceo. Goodbye. It was great, guys, seeing you. I'll see you later in class. Okay, so goodbye.